We've got some breaking news. A High Court judge has just issued its view on the challenge that 5 Conservative-led councils had taken in the High Court to challenge Mayor of London Sadiq Khan's plans to expand the capital's ultra-low emission zone, the ULEZ. Of course, it's had a lot of coverage, of course, of late because of the by-election results in Uxbridge and South Ruislip this time last week. And just as a reminder, it was due to be expanded significantly in terms of the geographic region it covered from inner and central London to include a lot more of these councils within the M25 region on the 29th of August. These 5 councils had challenged that decision, saying that Sadiq Khan as mayor had exceeded his legal powers with such a large expansion of the scheme, but the High Court has disagreed with those 5 councils. Let's bring in Rob Powell, our political correspondent, who joins me now on this story. And I guess, Rob, just break down for us what perhaps had been expected from this. Is this a huge revelation? Either way, it's, of course, continuing to feed what has been a highly charged political story over the last week.
I think it was in the balance. I mean, the 5 councils said that they were hopeful that this judicial review that was heard in the High Court earlier this month would be successful. Clearly, it has not been. What they were actually challenging was not the sort of merits or otherwise of the actual ULEZ policy. It was the way that the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, went about expanding it, because judicial review is looking at the legality of how something is done rather than actually what is done. And so the challenge was essentially around whether he went through the proper process to consult on this expansion of ULEZ. It was around the scrappage scheme as well, and whether more could have been done on that. And it was hinged as well about some of the data that was used to justify it around how many of the cars in outer London were compliant with this low emissions policy. We're waiting for the full judgment. This has only just been handed down in the High Court, so we really only have the top line of what has been decided. But what they have said is that they believe that the ULEZ expansion, the process which was challenged, was lawful, that the 5 Conservative-led councils have therefore failed to stop this policy going ahead. And practically what that means is it looks very likely that the ULEZ expansion will go ahead to outer London as planned at the end of August. Now, the reason why this is perhaps more important than just a sort of local London story is since the Uxbridge by-election, a week or so ago, which was lost and was won by the Conservatives, lost by Labour, essentially on the basis of this ULEZ policy, because Uxbridge is an area that straddles the ULEZ zone. There was a lot of unhappiness about this charge coming in. There has been a lot of soul-searching in both parties, especially in Labour, about essentially how they address and pitch green policies in order to encourage people to make greener, more environmentally friendly choices, but without penalising them and ultimately losing their votes. So Keir Starmer, the Labour leader, has essentially urged Sadiq Khan to row back from this policy. He said that there should be a rethink, that they need to be aware of policies that end up on Conservative campaign leaflets and say something is going wrong when that is happening. The Mayor of London, I think, is in listening mode, in that he has indicated, albeit through allies and sources, that he's prepared to consider ways to make this more palatable, if you like, for people that have to change cars. But ultimately, the nuts and bolts and the core of the policy he is sticking to. Now it appears that the courts have come in behind him, have said that the way he went about implementing this is lawful. So it now looks likely, bar any major political intervention or major change from the Mayor of London, that this ULEZ expansion will be going ahead in about a month's time.